great.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, friends.
Are you ready for your life beyond belief?
All right.
Man, another Friday. So soon.
I can't believe it's Friday already, and thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
Hello, everyone. I'm Emily, and this is my friend Tiana.
Tiana.
Heyo. Today, our episode is called Low Tide. Because sometimes the energy isn't that we're aggressive and attacking and coming in. Sometimes we need to retreat and go out a little bit. Because that's just where the energy is.
I feel like that's exactly where the energy is this week. I know I have a lot going on. How about you?
It is. My week is so low tide. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the tide has ever been lower. I feel like there was a lot this week that happened personally, professionally, that I had to be very reactive to. And some things are things that I just have to continue to carry because there's no answer for it. There's a lot of uncertainty. And that is so draining. And that is making my ocean fully low tide these days. So I feel like this week has been, how do I manage and cope in a high motivation season? Because I'm still highly motivated to do the things that I want to do. However, I have to adapt and adjust because I don't have the energy to kind of like high tide attack those goals because I have so many other things that I have to manage and deal with. And so I've had to kind of retreat a little bit this week, but try to still keep momentum. So we will talk about that in a little while.
Oh, yeah, no, I understand that. I know, like, when we were talking about the episode name, and I was like, yeah, low tide. I feel like sometimes it's like, if you can, or you get to the point where you're mastering your own ocean, right? Like, can you control when you need to just kind of like let it be low tide? Because sometimes it's better to just be able to rest for a moment. So you got to just go with that flow for a bit. So it's like, it's just, it resonates with me. Yeah, so this week, I had a lot going on, but I think I was really focused on making sure that I had more clarity around what was going on internally with me. I know I talked to you about some things that were important to me. I had to talk to my partner, and just talking to people and being like clear with them. That was like a big part of it. And that can also be draining because then you get it out. You might have amped yourself up about it. And it's like, whoosh, okay, it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought, or it was a big deal and I can hold space for it because it was a big deal for me. And now it's like afterwards. So that's been the big thing that I've been like working through this week. Still working on tracking my 168 hours. So I haven't perfected what that looks like yet, especially because like next week I'm going to be out of town. So it's kind of like, what do you do when you have 168 hours and you have a way you want to spend it, but you're not in your home environment? That can be a whole like topic area, but like managing that, knowing I want X amount of time for work, X amount of time for sleep, and then making sure I'm taking care of myself mentally, physically, and stuff like that. So that was my week, really, just trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I think that's tagging on to your 168 hours. I think that's kind of what it feels like when it's like personally and professionally a ton of stuff comes up and you're just kind of like, well, I had my plan for my 168 hours. Like, these are the things I was going to spend time on this week. And, you know, I don't fully have my plan developed. I'm still kind of working on it. It is very iterative. Where it's just kind of like, okay, well, you know, what's my baseline? What am I spending my time on now so that I know how much more or less time to spend on things? Kind of like, what does the progress look like now? What does ideal progress look like? And I really love the way that you broke it down last episode, where it's just kind of like, okay, if I have 10 weeks to learn something, how many hours would I have to spend per week? Or like, how long do I have to try to do this before I become kind of like, before I get to that skill level that I want? And so as I'm going through my week, I'm just kind of like, okay, like I want to spend concerted effort on this. But then what happens when a ton of stuff comes up that you weren't planning, that you have to manage? both like physically because it's things that you have to work on, and emotionally because our minds can't work at 100% if we've already used some of our energy. So if I don't
Mm-hmm.
get to work on something that I want to work on until 8 o'clock at night, do I just give up and not make any effort towards that? Or like, kind of how do I manage that? So this week, what I kept trying to do was, even if I only had a little bit of time, I would do a little thing to kind of keep momentum. So instead of, like, if I envisioned a high energy workout at the gym, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have time to work out until 8 o'clock at night, I was just kind of like, okay, I really envisioned a high energy workout at the gym. However, it's not black and white. It's not, okay, I can't do that, so I'm not going to work out. Instead, I feel like I scaled back a little bit. I think I want to start looking at action as more of a scale. So, like, what could I do that I felt like I had energy for, um, so that I could keep momentum and kind of maintain progress without doing that thing that was my ideal thing. So, what I did a couple of times this week is I just got on my spin bike and did a 30-minute, like, kind of like beginner's ride. So I've been doing spin for so long that, like, I'm a spin instructor. I've been doing it for a lot of years. But so a low energy option would be like a beginner's ride. They're just like, okay, just get used to the bike. I'm just kind of like, yeah, this isn't what I envisioned. It's not exactly hitting my goals the way that I want it to. However, it is still forward motion, and it's caring for me, to do something that's a little lower energy, that requires a little bit less of me, that I can just enjoy, instead of trying to like force myself to go do the maximum effort thing that just really isn't aligned with where I am in the day.
No, that's clear. I appreciate that, especially like thinking about things in my own life that like I want to do, like having goals of like engaging specifically on Substack a lot more. Like I have like articles that I've written. I've grown a little audience that I'm proud of, and then like I want to make sure I'm putting content out. But like sometimes I don't have the bandwidth to engage with it the way I want to. So like looking at the fact that it allows you to do like little like notes. So it's like a statement or comment on other people's things on Substack, like something that keeps you engaged. It's not necessarily a full on article like I want to do every so often. Really, I want to put out more a week, but main point of the story, like being able to do notes daily is something that is helpful, especially because for me, journaling, writing is a form of like reflection at the end of the day. So as I'm building my routine, the once I have the perfect day, I would ideally make sure that I have 15 to 20 minutes that I'm designating to writing at the end of the day. That's reflection on like or reflective of what I did and process. And that's pretty much what the Substack is about as like a founder and like building something that is challenging for you. Um Also while you're talking, the word that came up is like proficient, right? Like how do you define proficient? Like, how like if you're looking at a job application, we need someone that's proficient in this, right?
Hmm.
Who sets the standard for what proficient is? Is that like because maybe they aren't the same difference, or maybe proficient means something. Listen, like, do I need to look this word up? But what I'm saying is that when you're talking about like working on something, right, or developing the skill for something, like it's like being very good at doing something, usually because you have practiced it or trained a lot. The person, it says you say a person is proficient at a task or proficient in a subject. She's proficient in Spanish. He's proficient in using computers. Again, I don't think that that's descriptive enough for me to say like what it means, because when I process that word, I process it like, okay, the ability to know enough to continue developing with it, like a baseline of just like knowing enough to keep working on it. It's not the person is perfect at whatever tool or skill it's proficient. Anyway, feedback on that thought. Thanks for listening.
I ooh, I love that, because as soon as you kind of laid that out, so I'm right now, my organization, we're hiring, and so I've been interviewing a lot of candidates, and so I think that we have proficient on our job description. And
Hmm.
so we have some people who are like very skilled in the software that we use, and some people who are like, yeah, I've heard of it, so like I applied, and I just, it's so, and it's interesting because depending on whether or not they think they're proficient. Because part of this is like, do you even just think you're proficient?
That's
like,
that's what
I think some people are like, I've heard of it and I'm good at learning software, so heck yeah, I'm proficient.
I'm proficient.
How do I layer myself with that type of confidence? Because I have worked in this software for years, and that word scares me on a job description. I'm just kind of like, am I proficient? Like, ooh, like I wouldn't want to get in there and like find out that I'm not. But how do I turn myself into a person that's like, I've heard of it, I'm proficient, let me just get in there? Like, because you do have to be in it to win it. So it's just kind of like, of course, yeah, I'm proficient. So as you were saying,
that's interesting. I want to unpack it just a little bit more because of what you said. Because like when I look at the word proficient and I think about how it's used and then how people process that word, it's almost like, do you have the ability to learn this? It's how some people process it. Is to your point.
Yeah.
And there's some people are like, the word pro is in it, so I need to be proficient.
And that's me, perfectionist me. It's just like. I mean, am I pro and I get paid for it? I teach other people how to do it, but maybe I'm not proficient.
I'm not proficient. But then someone who's like, oh, how do you say that software again? Yeah, I'm proficient in it. Like I can be I can be. Their sentence isn't I am. Sometimes they say, oh, I can be proficient in that, and that's enough. Like I can get there. Like I have that level of like confidence. So anyway, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So what's coming up for you next week?
Next week is Cabo.
Oh, you're going to Cabo.
I'm so excited. It's going to be a girls' trip. I already got 3 very, very bright neon bikinis to wear in Cabo. I'm very excited. They came yesterday. I didn't know if they'd be here in time, but it's next week that we're leaving and they're already here. So they're just sitting next to my suitcase, ready, waiting. They're waiting and as excited to be in Cabo, I think, as I am. So yes, my low tide week just leading into Cabo. I love that. I love this for myself.
I mean, that's how you like recharge, right? So that's good. That's good.
Yes, I think my thing that I'm looking forward to most is we decided to do a private yacht tour.
Ooh.
Whose life is this? Whose life is this? This is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So next week you're gonna see me and I'm gonna be like, so this is me on our private yacht tour. Would you guys like to see the boat? Let's go look.
That's great. No, I'm loving that. Oh man.
So I know that you're also going to be on the West Coast this week.
I am going to be on the West Coast. I leave on Sunday and I'm there for a week. I am going to have a nice time in Monterey, which I really like Monterey. I may have said this in the episode before, but if I move back to California, Central Coast is like very much a happy place for me. So I lived in the Central Valley. I used to escape to the Central Coast all the time. So it worked for me. And so it'll be good. I have like a poster presentation on Wednesday, which I'm looking forward to getting that off my head because I feel like there's certain projects and things that I'm like, oh my gosh, there's only like 2 hours of my life that I'm doing this poster presentation, but it's taking up so many hours beforehand that I'm just like, whoa, this is a lot. So I'm ready for that to be like out of my head, be able to present my research and then continue to get ready for the academic year. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The aquarium, I think, is my thing that I'm excited to do. The Monterey Aquarium is a nice aquarium, so doing that'll be my walking through the aquarium content, most likely.
Yes. What's your favorite part of the aquarium?
So I've never been to the Monterey Aquarium. I have been outside it, but I've never actually gone in it. But when I go to aquariums, generally, I like to see seahorses. I like to see the jellyfish. I know in the National Aquarium they have like a touch exhibit, so that's fun. Turtles, like the big turtle, that's at the National Aquarium. So I have more connection to the Baltimore Aquarium. But yeah, excited to go to Monterey Aquarium. It's very well funded, so it'll be good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see those pictures. My nephew loves aquariums, so over the last 7 years, I've gone to a lot of aquariums. My favorite parts are the sharks and the jellyfish. I know that's so surprising to you.
So
Those are my
surprising.
absolute favorite. I like the seahorses though, because the seahorses, I never knew they use their tails to like latch onto grasses. And so when they're like sleeping and just waving with the grasses, it's a whole vibe, the seahorse vibe.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Do you have anything like that you're gonna focus on for yourself while you're in Cabo, or like a personal intention that you're thinking through for next week?
I think that the journey that I'm on right now is kind of a journey instead of a lot of, and this is kind of a core value, I think, of Beyond Belief too, is instead of kind of continuing to strive to be kind of like good enough or continuing to strive to kind of like maybe have skills other people have that I haven't naturally developed or something like that. I think that this part of my journey is getting back to kind of being authentically me, and really figuring out what my vision for my life is. And I feel like sometimes we get off track because, lives are so busy with so many other things, so many things that come up, so many things, so many ways that we're trying to support others, our families, the people at our jobs, being proficient in our jobs. And I feel like what I'm chasing right now is alignment. I would just want to know kind of like what's aligned with me as a person. And so I think that there's going to be a lot of reflection for kind of like the things that do bring joy for me in my life and kind of like the direction that I want to take my life, because I feel like I have been coasting for a while. I feel like I've been like, especially professionally, I've been very low tide. I've been kind of like, okay, like everything, the systems are all working. My job is good. It doesn't exactly like ignite passion within me, but I've kind of been like, okay, well, it's fine. Um, but I do wonder kind of like whether it's in the position that I am currently or whether it's doing something else. It's just kind of like what would make me feel excited to wake up and work again, and it would feel like I was looking forward to my job and not just like looking forward to vacation. So I think that in this season, the biggest thing that I'm kind of trying to do is maybe when I'm in Cabo, I'll make a vision board. Maybe I'll just do some reflective journaling. But I feel like what I am looking for is kind of like my guidance and my leadership over my life. Just kind of like, where are you trying to go? What do you want? What really makes you happy? What really has brought you joy? And how do you build toward that? And so I'm using this as a little retreat to kind of like really determine that vision and align it with my mission and purpose in life. Because I just am feeling in this season very out of alignment.
No, I appreciate you sharing that. I can relate to that. I know the intention I'm trying to set next week is about being more present. Like I have a tendency to like worry about like the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. But it's kind of like Sunday I get there, be present in what you're doing. Monday I'm there, be present in what you're doing. Making sure that I'm present is a big part of like my goal. And also knowing that it's okay to do things like alone. Like, and I mean like in a sense of like, even though I'm going to this conference, I don't have to like engage and do all the activities like with people. Like, because like
Yeah.
this conference, I'm not necessarily going with a design or a set group from work. I'm going by myself in that regard. So it's not like I have like a built-in buddy system. So there's that part that I don't have to worry about. But often I find that like I'll get to a conference, I'll get a place, and it's like, okay, I make this one friend, and then we might try to like do things, and I'm following that person's like thing instead of like sticking to my own whatever that is. So I'm following my own interests essentially, and then just being as present and not worried so much about other people's like feelings, what they're gonna think, what they're gonna say. Like, oh, okay, so like Tiana, like there's a dinner, and I might stay for the whole dinner on Monday night, but I also was like, I might just get a drink and go back to my room because I'm gonna be on East Coast time and it's at 6 p.m. California time, and I probably would be like, I probably would have already ate by then, like, cause like I'm still trying to keep as much of my like routine as possible, so I probably would have eaten. I'll have a drink with them and stuff like that, and then probably just peace out, and I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. Just do it, live my life. But again, I may do dinner. It just depends on how I'm feeling in that present moment, so.
I know how, when I go to conferences, sometimes I'll make like one or two friends and it feels like, okay, we have a group now and we just do things together.
Right.
It's such a blessing. And then also I do like, sometimes I'm just kind of like, this isn't what I want to do right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like leveraging, will I have them later if I say no now? Will they invite me to the next thing?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I feel like that's definitely a struggle that I've had. And I'm going to a conference in November. So as you're saying these things, I'm taking notes. I'm like, ooh, yeah, like why am I saying yes to those things? Do I really want to say yes?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that in a big way.
Yay.
Gosh.
Yeah, no. What episode is this for us of Beyond Belief?
This is episode
5.
Is it 5?
I don't know, but I know that like I'm over here wanting, like I feel like 5-year and like anniversaries, like or 5-year like things in my mind. I'm like, I want to use one of the like sounds to be able to be like, yay, we made it to episode 5. You listen to this much of the episode. I don't know why I hear myself back a little bit, but if you listen to this much of the episode, I'm really excited to let you know, like, we've made it to episode 5. Also, like, I feel like since we started, Emily, like, there are areas or doors in my life that have started to open up more because I'm like looking at the doors and I'm making efforts towards the doors, and like circling back to what you said at the very beginning of the episode about like that incremental progress is a big part of it. So
so every time I have taught or led anything leadership related, I feel the same way. Like doors open, my growth skyrockets. And the thing about growing seasons are so uncomfortable. So this is definitely a growing season for me because it makes you take inventory of your life, see where you are, see where you want to go. And then it also makes you take an honest look in the mirror. Who am I? Like, how do I respond to things? How do I respond when I like things? How do I respond when I don't like things? If I don't like it, why don't I like it? Am I feeling pressured to like it? Am I, what is going on in my mind? And I feel like since we've started this, we are each sharing things that are kind of going on in our minds. I appreciate kind of your vulnerability and the ability to share vulnerably with you, because it allows me to kind of like take a really honest look at myself and think about who I am now and who I want to be, not because I'm not good enough or something like that, but really truly because I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase, what got you here won't get you there. And that's also a book. And so I love where I am. I love who I am. Also, I have dreams and goals that are bigger than the space that I occupy right now. So if I want to continue to move forward and move into that bigger and better space, I can't keep doing the habits and practices that I'm doing now because they only got me here. So I need to grow to be able to get myself there. So I just really appreciate this season because in like kind of like looking at things with you and taking an honest look at myself, I can start to identify those things that I need to catch and release to get me to that next level.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So I want to like take a moment to circle back to why we originally started said podcast. It's an invitation to join us in Belize. In October, we're going. Well, if you're listening to this in October 27, sorry you missed that one, but maybe there's another one. But if you're listening to this in 2026, October 15th to October 20th, we're going to Hopkins, Belize, and we would love for you to join us.
We want you there. It is going to be time, honestly, just for you. So, if you like the types of things that we talk about on the podcast, it's going to basically be a Beyond Belief intensive. Of course, things are optional, so you don't have to attend every workshop, every session. You don't have to participate in everything. If you need some low tide time, you can absolutely take it. But if you like the idea of kind of going from where you are now to really spending time mapping out where you want to be, identifying kind of like things that you might want to build or adapt to or change or progress in, it's really all about kind of like, it's in late 2026. We're trying to talk about where we want to be in late 2027 and kind of like how to structure and build our lives to be able to actually get there, instead of it being that thing that you might look at and say, by 2027, I want to do this. And then you're not putting systems in place. You're not using specific tools. You're doing everything that you've done before, and you're just not getting there. So we are creating a community, we are creating an experience, and we are getting you exactly where you want to be in 2027. So come to us to Belize. Come with us to Belize. Come with us to Belize. It's gonna be great.
So you made a beautiful website this week. I would love for us to like go through it a little bit so that people can see what it is that we're trying to make sure they get a part of.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's jump in. Tiana showed me how to do this week. Okay, now I shared wrong the first time and right the second time, so yay. Okay, so this is our beautiful Beyond Belief website. As you can see at the top, it's about leading yourself first. So before we can lead others, we need to know who we are and kind of like the direction we want, and we need to learn to follow ourselves in that vision. So welcome to your life beyond belief. As you can see in the center here, we have a little plane. That's the plane that you're taking to Belize. And then down here, we kind of have like, a little bit about what we're about: leadership, adventure, community, and getting ourselves to our lives beyond belief. For people who are ready to stop shrinking and being less of who they are and build courageous lives that reflect who they are deep down. Nice. So as we're here, you can see we have links to kind of like our information to the Belize retreat. And so if you're interested, you can click right there. You can also click down here. We have multiple avenues. We all need multiple avenues to get somewhere sometimes. A little more inspiration right here before everything else in life comes learning how to lead yourself for the life that you want. This is all your design, your life by design. So we also have kind of excerpts from our podcast. And then we also kind of have our little like process. We awaken to where we are. We align ourselves with what we want. We act courageously towards that life. And then we lead ourselves and eventually others to where we want to be, where they want to be, and kind of just keep pushing forward. So we also have all of our socials and all of our podcast links and everything like that down here. So if you want to get involved with us, and we want you to get involved with us, go ahead and click in there. And that is everything. So if you want to go check it out, we will link it below. And ta-da!
And ta-da!
Ta-da! I did it.
No, I'm so excited. I think I know it's going to be something that's transformative for both of us and for anyone who joins us. It is a small community intentionally, so this is not going to be a large group thing. This is an exclusive offer for this year, so we're really excited to have our core team coming in to experience beyond belief. Something that I always really like to reflect on is that if you look at our logo, the I is small, and I feel like when I think about it as like the child in you that you're taking care of. Like that I is like, you know what I mean, and make sure that you take care of it. But also that I reminds me of like the dot your I's, cross your T's type situation. Ooh. So pay attention to the details. So you're dotting the I as a part of the details for taking care of you. So anyway, that's what I get from looking at our logo. And I hope that you go into this next week taking care of you, the little person in you, but also the big I, So that's that.
I love that. I hadn't noticed that about our logo.
That's where my head was at. I was like, I want to share this. And yeah, man, I feel good. I'm looking forward to this next week. And I'm looking forward to recording again soon and being able to learn all about what you experienced in Cabo. And I'll share what I got out of Monterey.
Yay! Yeah, it's gonna be incredible.
It's so funny that we're both going on a trip at the same time. This was not planned for those that are watching. This just was like a happy accident that we're both having the opportunity to go do some retreating, I guess, of our own micro retreat for self.
It's true. Yeah, I think that it wasn't, because we weren't even at this stage in planning or anything like that, or in growing. When I planned the trip, I was just kind of like going with a friend. And then, but if I think about it, kind of like we've worked enough on this at this point that it's less time now to kind of like absorb information and more time to reflect and, design my life. So I feel really blessed to have this opportunity to kind of just get away. And I'm in adult education for my 9 to 5 job. So our brains learn in different ways and process things in different ways, as we know. But a relaxed brain will do so much more than kind of a stressed brain. So sometimes when you may have like a learning game in a classroom or a learning game online or something like that, a lot of it, if you're like, oh, these questions aren't even relevant or something like that, some of it isn't even about kind of evaluating whether or not you've gained knowledge, but it's about relaxing your brain so that it can absorb more, because we're able to do more when we're relaxed. So one of the reasons that, that we're planning a retreat is just because like when we relax, when we move our bodies, when we kind of like get out of our heads in a certain way, when we get out of the rush, out of the stress, our brains can give us different information because they are relaxed. They can process information differently. You can have a breakthrough. So I'm excited for us each to have space where we can have our relaxed minds tell us exactly what they need to tell us and kind of be able to move forward with that information.
No, that's beautiful. Yeah, that definitely makes me even more excited about going to Belize, because it's like I get there and I'm like sitting there like I can have my brain in a relaxed state. I'm in a beautiful space. We're going to have opportunities to just be there and be present. And so being able to absorb these tools and taking back is something that I'm thinking about. And then also like going into this next week and like keeping that information in my mind, I'm like, okay, Tiana, if you want to get the most out of like the knowledge that I'm gaining from the conference sessions, keep yourself relaxed. Don't be worried about your other responsibilities when you get back home. Like I know I have to prepare for the semester and I'm working on that and all the different things that I have in front of me, but like that's not going to help me to gain, if I'm like stressed. So thanks for that tidbit.
Of course.
Was there anything else you wanted to share before we wrap up this episode?
I don't think so. I think, just click that link below and explore what we have to say, explore what we have to offer, and give Belize a consideration, because we'd love to see you there.
Yep. If you have any questions, please comment them below. We're planning on having a live webinar next month, so we'll give you those details soon. And if you add those questions down, we'll be able to answer them live for you soon. So, bye.
Thanks for listening. Bye, friends.